me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine.
Good evening. Welcome to Greenlight Maine. I'm your host, Julene Gervais. Thank you so much for joining us. This program couldn't be any more important than it is right now, promoting entrepreneurism and innovation in Maine during challenging times. Chances are you can relate to these companies as they forge ahead and drive Maine's economy. Tonight, we're going to meet two powerhouses in the Maine wine and craft beer industry. But first, we're going to say hi to our judges who are all joining us virtually to keep everybody safe during COVID-19. First, we have our judge from Bangor Savings Bank. Welcome, Gary Quintiliani. So good to see you.
Great, thank you very much. It's good to be here.
Tell us a little bit about what you do at Bangor Savings Bank.
I'm the Director of Commercial Banking. I've been with the bank for 21 years and I oversee all the business lending functions, and I've been banking in Maine for the past 30 years.
Ton of experience, that's great. And welcome our veteran judge, Martha Bentley from DECD.
Hi, glad to be here. Yeah, I'm the Director of Economic Development Coordination for DECD, working mostly with our Strategic Economic Development Plan.
Nice. And our last judge is Ben Davis from OpBox. And Ben, you move around this state. Every time we see you, you're in a different location.
Thanks, Julian. I'm Ben Davis, and I'm the founder of a group of companies here in Maine, including Opportunity Box, where we manufacture modular buildings out of recycled plastics.
Great. Okay, it's time for our first pitch. Our first one comes from season 1. It's Blue Ox Malthouse with Joel Alex. Let's watch his pitch.
Hello, Greenlight Maine. It's good to be back. For a little refresher, for those of you that missed us in season 1, Blue Ox Malthouse is a grain processing facility that malts grain for brewers, distillers, and food processors. You can think of malted grain as being to beer what flour is to bread. It's that processed grain ingredient, and the reason that we do that is because if you take raw grain, add hot water, you get a porridge like oatmeal. You do not get a fermentable liquid. So we're a biochemical process. The malting process itself is steeping the grain in water, letting it grow and germinate, and then baking it down in a kiln to add color and flavor. At Blue Ox Malthouse, we malt using floor malting methods that are traditional to Europe, and when we opened, we were actually the largest such facility in North America. Now, we source from Maine first, and working with over more than a dozen farms, we've been able to move more than 2.5 million pounds of Maine-grown grains into the hands of more than 100 brewing customers around New England and the United States. But we're ready to do more. Despite our seemingly large size for an outsider, the team of 6 here doesn't produce enough grain to fill the tens of millions of pounds used in Maine, much less the 100 million pounds of malted grains used in the Northeast annually. Now, as our grower in Aroostook County likes to remind me all the time, they could support us at 10 times our current capacity, which makes sense because Maine is the largest small grain producer in the Northeast. So there's that opportunity there. And because of our unique and proven methods, products, and quality, we're really well poised to grow into that market and produce more malt. Additionally, there are markets that we really haven't developed a good presence in yet, like distilling, baking, and the high margin direct-to-consumer homebrewing markets. Award money from this program would help us grow our malting capacity and open up those new markets. I want to just say that Blue Ox Malthouse started with a mission to fill a missing link between agriculture and the craft brewing industry. After 5 years of proving that concept, we're really ready to grow our impact and do more. So I thank you guys for considering me for this year's Greenlight Maine champion, and look forward to hearing more and the help that the award could provide us.
Great job, Joel. You have grown so much since you were last on Greenlight Maine. Good for you.
Thank you. Yeah, we've definitely come a long way.
Absolutely. All right, let's kick off the questions with Gary.
Yep, Joel, great job, great story. I was curious, you mentioned that the farmers are eager to grow more crops, and it looks like there's a lot of demand in the marketplace. What are the barriers to entry for competitors, and why have you done so well? What's your unique proposition?
I mean, there's a huge information infrastructure and capital hurdles. We're batch production and we're an economy of scales business. And while there's a little bit more available now than there was 7 years ago when I started, malting is a very challenging skill to learn. The equipment, there's not proven tested equipment out there right now. And we have a tested, proven system. You know, when we talk about our product, we have consistent, high quality grains with a transparent local supply.
Thank you.
All right, next question, Martha.
Yeah, hi, Joel. I feel like I've known you since you were at the very beginning. So my question for you is just how big can you get?
That's a great question. I know we can get bigger than we are, for sure. And, you know, we're producing high quality, like I said, high quality products out there. I mean, really, I said it in the pitch, there's tens of millions of pounds of malt used here in Maine. There's hundreds of millions in the Northeast, increasingly, especially outside of Maine. We're seeing a lot of interest in our product. Out of our top 10 customers this year, we've seen 3 from Massachusetts come into our top 10 in terms of volume. So there's a lot of potential. And like I said, also on the supply chain, we're really lucky. Our farmers could support us at a much larger volume than we are doing now.
Okay, Ben.
Joel, great job. I have a supply chain question, actually. I'm today up here in the county. So my question is around how will your growth impact the folks up here in Aroostook County?
That's a great question. So basically, the whole premise of our business is to increase the revenue generating potential of the farm. Up there, potatoes are the cash crop. Grain, they just try not to lose too much money on it. And by providing a high premium grain, I mean, we pay 50% premiums to almost 100% premiums versus what they're going to sell it into a feed market or into the commodity markets in Canada. So we really are trying to increase their revenue and get more money into that area.
All right, you know your business really well, Joel. So congratulations, and we wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, we need to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to hear our second pitch, so don't go away.
It's the spirit of New Englanders that inspires all of us to do more. It's in our employees, our customers, and our communities. Every day we do more because at Bangor Savings Bank, we truly believe you matter more.
Whether you're cutting edge or looking at a traditional industry in a whole new way, if you want to innovate and if you want to grow, if you're an organization here in Maine, we want to support you. We're the Maine Technology Institute.
Eaton Peabody, a Maine-based law firm serving generations of Maine businesses and families from offices in Augusta, Bangor, Brunswick, Ellsworth, and Portland.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. Our next company has come so far since they were on Greenlight Maine last. Let's have a look at Amanda and Alex from 1820 Wines.
Hi, my name is Amanda O'Brien, and I'm the owner of 1820 Wines, and this is Alex Denniston, our winemaker. 4 years ago, I came to Greenlight Maine with an idea, but that's it, just an idea. The idea was, can you make a good wine out of something that grows really well in Maine? And I was turning to rhubarb. Since then, I've opened a production facility and tasting room in the East Bayside part of Portland, surrounded by other brewers and makers and distillers. We're in over 40 stores around the state, including Whole Foods, and continue to add more. We've had growth every year, including 2020 during a global pandemic. We've had great partnerships around town, and we've been fortunate to be featured, and people are following along on our story in publications like Portland Press Herald, Maine Biz, Good Morning America, Modern Farmer, just to name a few. The response to our company and this idea has been amazing.
For years, the food and beverage market has been moving increasingly more local, whether that's to support your local economy or lessen your environmental impact, or simply just to experience your vacation long after you've come home. Consumers are consistently looking for opportunities to buy local. But here's the problem with Maine-made wines. Grapes really don't grow well in the cold. So if we wanted to make a great wine made from local ingredients, we turned to rhubarb. And although rhubarb is an unusual ingredient for wine, our goal wasn't to make an unusual tasting wine. Our wines are light, crisp, and refreshing. Think of them like a light, dry white. Think maybe Pinot Grigio or a dry French rosé. And farmers love rhubarb too, because rhubarb loves growing in Maine. It's naturally pest resistant, it comes back every year, and because it's a spring crop, our checks are some of the very first the farmers get after a long winter, which is a really crucial moment in their business. And we have farmers who want to grow more rhubarb for us, but there's a problem.
The problem is Alex is really tired of me saying we need more wine. Just with our own self-distribution, online sales, tasting room, and now our delivery service, we can't keep up. We have more people that want wine and we can't get it to them. We've had to say no to some really great opportunities, including some distributors who have come with really great terms, to restaurants who want to put us on their menu and pour by the glass, to weddings, to event spaces, to farmers markets. We just can't meet the demand. My background is in marketing, and I feel like I haven't been able to put my foot on the gas yet to see where this is going to go.
As the interest in our wine scales, our business needs to scale to meet that need. We need to increase our production ability with new equipment. We need to hire staffs to help us make and get that wine across the state and the region. And we need more farmers to help grow the rhubarb to grow our business. And with your help, we're excited to bring a high-quality product made from Maine ingredients, grown on Maine farms, to the national and global wine market. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, 1820 Wines, you guys got it going on. You're amazing, Alex and Amanda. Good for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks for having us on the show.
Happy to have you back. All right, let's kick off the questions with Ben.
Amanda and Alex, how are you? Great pitch. Congrats on your success. Just a question about, you identified equipment, staffing, and farms are areas in which you need to scale up. With this award, which one are you going to focus on?
Oh, good question. Can I say all three? The first thing we need is definitely equipment. We need to be able to make bigger batches at a time, but with that, we need people to help us do that. And then, yeah, I want a good chunk of it to go right back into Maine farms and to be able to get some more rhubarb for next year.
Yeah, you guys are definitely poised for growth, so good for you. Okay, Martha.
Yeah, just speaking of growth, great pitch. And how big do you want to get?
Oh, Martha, that's a great question. As big as we can. I mean, so we haven't even touched like the Maine market, I don't think. And then we have interest in restaurants in New York and in DC and North Carolina. So why not like go further and go around the country? We've even had people reach out from China because rhubarb's a big thing in China. But, you know, each one is like one step at a time, but I would love to have another Maine-made product, like make it around the country for sure.
Nice. All right, Gary.
Great job, guys. My question is more about production. You mentioned it's a spring crop. How do you flatten the production curve so you can be, increase your capacity?
Oh, that is a great question. And another benefit of rhubarb is that unlike grape wine, where we have sort of a major crush, where you pick and you crush and you make all your wine for the year in one moment, part of our process is we actually freeze the rhubarb, which means that we can accept as much rhubarb as we can possibly accept in the spring, freeze it, and pull it out as needed throughout the entire year to make our wine.
Oh, that's great.
Awesome. Well, you guys, I'm telling you, I wish we were in the studio because I have had your wines and they are so good, but I wish everybody could taste test them because they're all good.
Thank you.
Thank you. We love them. I mean, and it's not just like, it's a good wine, but it's a good wine for Maine. It's a good wine for the state and for the farmers. And we really want this to work.
You guys are a great Maine story. You're making Maine proud, and we appreciate you coming back, and just best of luck to you. No luck is needed because you're already just well on your way.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sure. We need to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to hear from our judges, so don't go away.
Through their efforts to support Maine entrepreneurs who are growing our economy, Greenlight Maine is making our state a better place to start and operate a business. For these efforts and the creation of a robust entrepreneurial ecosystem, the Harold Alfond Institute for Business Innovation at Thomas College is proud to be a sponsor of Greenlight Maine.
ARB's advisors are providing savvy solutions to Greenlight Maine startups, closely held businesses, and organizations that operate internationally. And we're doing it the way you'd want Mainers to, guided by our local, sensible values.
It's the spirit of New Englanders that inspires all of us to do more. It's in our employees, our customers, and our communities. Every day we do more because at Bangor Savings Bank, we truly believe you matter more.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. We're going to hear from our judges. We had two great pitches from Blue Ox Malthouse and 1820 Wines. Gary, kick us off.
Yeah, I thought they both did a great job, and really exciting to see two companies, getting their raw product from Maine, and both have established great markets for their products. So it's more about a capacity issue for both of them, which I thought was a challenge, but something that could be solved quickly.
Yes, a good challenge to have. Ben.
Yeah, Gary, I totally agree. It's fun to see them both grow and to see two companies, both in the beverage and hospitality industries, that are having such an impact on local farms.
Yeah, and I really was impressed with how they both have sort of adjusted and changed and learned things through sort of the COVID-19 situation. 1820 talked about it, gave them an opportunity to focus a little bit less on their tasting room and really figure out about the production side and scaling up. And I was also really impressed how they really understood sort of the different options and margins around some of the different distribution channels and ways that they need to meet their customers.
They were very specific on what they need capital for. That's a great point. Yes, a lot of direct-to-consumer stuff on the part of Blue Ox Malthouse, and the same with 1820 Wines, and they actually need to hire more staff to get the job done. Gary.
Yeah, I think very different companies in the sense of where they are in their cycle. One, 4 or 5 employees, really focused on the Maine marketplace, which was great. And then the Malthouse, very focused on growing regionally and potentially nationally. So both have the same challenges, but different market plans. So very intriguing.
Ben.
Yeah, I don't know about you all, but I thought that it was interesting to learn about Blue Ox and where they're positioned being supplier to all the amazing craft breweries here in Maine and New England, and reminded a little bit of the story of Levi jeans and the gold rush, right? You don't necessarily have to be on the front of the house as long as you're supplying to all of that. So I think that's really exciting for the state.
Yes, great analogy, Ben.
I really liked the fact that Blue Ox talked about the importance of being close to his customers, and how, the customers had come and might just come pick up grain that they need, and that they brought their whole staff to understand sort of the story of malting and all of that. So it's a really nice thread of connection between, sort of value on all parts of the chain, which I thought was great.
Gary, we got time for one more comment.
Yeah, and I think both of them have done so well financially in terms of growing their business and being, showing that they are sustainable models, which can be scalable. So that's also very positive.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a tough one because they're both so good, and they both have a great Maine story. They're both representing Maine globally. I mean, they have so much room and potential to grow outside of the Northeast. So yeah, this is really, we have two winners here today for sure. All right, well, thank you so much for your comments. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have our winner. Don't go away.
It's important to add people to your network throughout your career and your life. And it's important to go to networking events when you can, and to work the room by introducing yourself to new people. If you are shy, my advice is this: think of 3 questions to ask a new person you meet, such as where they grew up or what they like to do in their free time. When the other person answers, really listen to their response and remember some details about their lives. So the next time you see them, you can ask them about their childhood or their favorite sports team. People will like you more if you remember their name and details about their lives. And speaking of names, try to repeat their name as much as you can, because that's the sweetest sound in the language to any person, the sound of their own name.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. Our inspiring Mainer today is Lucas St Clair, who is the Executive Director of Elliottsville Plantation. It is so good to see you, Lucas. Thanks for being here.
You bet. Thanks for having me on.
First off, if you could just tell our viewers at home what inspires you, because you are so philanthropic and you have done so much for our great state. I know everybody would like to hear what you find inspirational.
Well, I have to say the state itself, this place is just so tremendously beautiful, and the natural resources are so abundant, from, the coastline to the woods and mountains of Maine. We're just so fortunate to live in such a beautiful place. And I find inspiration in every corner of the state.
Nice. Our two companies today are from your area of expertise in our rural economy. Talk about what you see happening right now.
Well, it's really interesting to see what's happening, as the rural economy becomes more diversified. Historically, we've had a lot of industry sort of focused in one town, whether it was Dexter Shoe or Great Northern Paper, that sort of drove the economy of rural towns. And to see the diversification that's happening is really an inspiring and exciting thing, because I think it allows for communities to attract more young people. And it allows for tourism. It allows for folks to live and work in these really beautiful places. And whether it's agricultural products like what we've seen with malt and rhubarb, and whether it's organic niche item or farmers that are doing things across the state, it's really exciting to see that diversification happen.
Awesome. How about some advice for some of our contestants?
Well, I think being open to new things and being open to change, I think that's probably the most important thing. As I see the way that the economy is developing right now, it's really hard to predict what's next. And so being nimble, keeping an eye on the marketplace, and paying really close attention to the consumer. Ultimately the consumer is going to drive your business. And so having as much direct contact with the consumer as possible, I think, is super important. While it can be hard in these moments of COVID-19 to, I think it's still really important to find unique ways to interact with the folks that are enjoying the things that you make.
Great advice. I know. And change can be good as long as you accept that you need to change. And I think we all need to change in some way in our new normal.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Well, it's so good to see you. Thank you so much for being our inspiring Mainer. And, we appreciate all you've done for our great state.
Well, thank you so much. It's been great to be here.
And you can see more of our conversation with Lucas St Clair on our website at greenlightmaine.com and on our Facebook page as well. We'll be right back after this.
Through their efforts to support Maine entrepreneurs who are growing our economy, Greenlight Maine is making our state a better place to start and operate a business. For these efforts and the creation of a robust entrepreneurial ecosystem, the Harold Alfond Institute for Business Innovation at Thomas College is proud to be a sponsor of Greenlight Maine.
Whether you're cutting edge or looking at a traditional industry in a whole new way, if you want to innovate and if you want to grow, if you're an organization here in Maine, we want to support you. We're the Maine Technology Institute.
It's the spirit of New Englanders that inspires all of us to do more. It's in our employees, our customers, and our communities. Every day we do more because at Bangor Savings Bank, we truly believe you matter more.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. We're moments away from finding out today's winner. But first, we would like to thank our judges because they spent a lot of time off camera talking to these companies and getting to know them. And it's a tough choice today, Blue Ox Malthouse and 1820 Wines. But it's time to find out who's moving on. Judges, who's it going to be? 3, 2, 1. That means that Blue Ox Malthouse is today's winner. Congratulations, Joel. You're moving on to the next round.
Thank you, Julian. Thank you, judges. I'm really honored and look forward to it.
And that's all the time that we have today, but we have a lot of resources on our website, so please check us out on greenlightmaine.com, and you can see all of our episodes there, and we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll see you right back here next week. Have a great night. Thanks.
Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine.